right,
God.
the game has started. Take it away, servers.
Thank God. All right, here we go. EG versus Quincy Crew game number 2 is unpaused and ready to go. I wish we could talk more about Kleenex in pockets, but sadly, we have a game to cap.
What we can talk about, though, is the fact that you said Quincy had a weird draft last game. I feel like EG's this time around is also a little bit unusual. They seemed pretty confident when you saw in the shots from the drafting, like from their reactions to the picks that they got. But like the panel pointed out, you have very limited ways of initiating a fight. You have a Storm Vortex. Techie's Blast Off has nothing that it really synergizes with inherently, like stuns that set it up or strong slows. And your lineup is pretty greedy in the sense that both Timber, Stormer, and Terrorblade really want to get at least 1 or 2 core items ideally before they get involved into major engagements. So yeah, if EG's laning doesn't go great this time, they might find themselves in this awkward like 10-minute stage where they kind of can't fight and they just need to find the right items. But that's very dangerous when you're playing against a team that has this good skirmish capabilities, right? Dragon Knight Mirana, Sand King Mirana, Shadow Demon +1, even Luna as a carry can kill with a stun setup with Eclipse. So plenty of ways for Quincy to find good picks around the map. Let's see first of all how EG put their lane. So JerAx will be playing 5 DP as expected. He'll give this lane up and go probably play bottom with Arteezy on the Terrorblade. Storm mid for Abed, and the top lane will be Crit as well as Nightfall on Techie's Timber. So pretty standard what they're doing here. Very curious to see how this top lane goes and how the Techies plays in particular, right? Like, what's your purpose here with Timber?
To troll. Quincy Crew got 3 of the 4 bounties, by the way, so a little bit surprising start. They could use it for sure. And I mean, I agree. EG's lineup this time around, it feels very greedy. It feels borderline overconfident, which I can't necessarily blame them for because last game was a Gaben level shellacking like we talked about. But a lot of that had to do with the draft being super weird, which just isn't the case this time for Quincy Crew. So expecting a much better showing this time around. And hopefully we get to see MILAN with his shirt off again, because the shirt on, that meant serious business. But did you have a clown in any of your teams that just livened up the mood?
YawaR.
Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds about right. And then he would steal everybody's farm on Rubik, so.
Yeah, he was a clown outside of the game, and inside of the game he was serious business.
That's right.
Actually not true, but.
MILAN taking a lot of damage right now.
Dead there.
Walk away. And JerAx just continuing. I mean, this Death Prophet position 5, extremely annoying to deal with. Obviously, Spirit Siphon being HP percentage damage, ends up scaling well as a result. How do you feel like she is right now as a hero? Like, what position do you prefer her on like just a general basis?
That's the thing that's beautiful about the hero. I don't think there is a best position, really. I think it's very game dependent.
I knew you wouldn't be able to answer that. I said, basically what I'm asking you is your favorite to watch or...
To watch?
Make everything so difficult.
Probably mid.
Okay. As Quinn takes heavy damage from Abed in the mid lane.
It is pretty satisfying watching a very farm DP feel almost invincible.
Yeah,
right?
but you
like, there's kind of something about it.
Yeah, it was a bad question.
Yeah, good. I'm happy you realized that after.
No, it's a bad question because you're a bad answer of questions. You take things too seriously.
No, it was a bad question because it was hard to answer.
It's too analytical. You need to just not, you need to turn off the analysis sometimes, you know? Be more like me. As we see the sticky bomb connect onto Ponlo. And he's gonna get chased a bit here by Nightfall, but I think better of it inside the range of the tower.
So what you can do in this kind of lane when you're playing with Timber is when Timber gets level 3, the Techies is free to leave, which is why, like SVG pointed out, this would have been a cool Earth Spirit game because you can just rotate off and look for kills in the other 2 lanes. But how does Techies do that here is my question. That's like the one thing was, okay, what are they going to do in the beginning to get their levels to stabilize the lane? That's pretty straightforward. You know, you cast your spells and you push into the tower, but I really want to see how this pieces together after the first 5 minutes. Like, if Techies is just going to go farm, maybe. Or stack the jungle.
Yeah.
And we'll keep on the pressure on YawaR here, just a lot of poke.
I mean, I can see like late game scenarios where this is really good, right? You got Ags on Storm, Vortex into the sharded blast off from techies. That's pretty disgusting combo. But it feels like all the stuff that we're thinking of is very late-game-oriented. Arteezy pops the wand, will stay alive as a result, and MILAN getting chased now. And it looks like that's going to be first blood for EG, so nice turnaround for them. Just barely for Arteezy living through that engagement.
It was a trap. I think MILAN didn't have arrow ready or didn't have mana for both spells when the stun came in from KheZu, but they didn't account for how tanky Arteezy would be with, I think he had 8 or 9 1 charges. And the Starstorm didn't double hit him because MILAN doesn't have leap, so he couldn't connect in and get that second hit. And yeah, essentially just turns into a bait for EG. They got their first blood onto JerAx, which is pretty nice here. What's he going to buy with that? He is getting raindrop as a result.
Ponlo getting chased with that sticky bomb. Is this enough to actually get the kill? I think one more right click should suffice, but the stick will be forced out. Crit. I mean, he's pressuring quite well in this lane. You were questioning the... I mean, is it the laning stage that you're worried about, or just more the identity towards, like, past the lane?
Identity in mid-game, I think. Their lanes can float just fine.
Float?
It's what... Well, is that a word? Stay...
No, that's... No, I've just never heard you use that term before.
No, it's a pretty advanced word, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can do fine for now, but it's mainly like, what do you do after 10 minutes, right? Like, where do you go with your heroes? Oh, Milan's actually possibly...
Fire is not enough. Second death for him. Double burrow strike from KheZu.
Makes you wonder if this skill build of going the 2-1-0 was the right approach. Like, you're really doubling down on trying to find kills with Sand King, but it just didn't happen, and now you're just being exploited as a result. In the lane, they know he doesn't have leap, so every time he comes close, you can just go for that punish.
Yeah. As Quinn in the mid lane is sitting on 29-3 with Abed 30-7, so relatively even. More denies obviously going for Abed, so she give him a slight edge with XP. Meanwhile, the creeps are beating the absolute crap out of the SD, but Ponlo shall survive. And this is when, I mean, we talk about this all the time with Timbersaw. He is like, I mean, aside from getting broken by creeps here, should be good to go now, I would assume, with 2 levels of reactive armor.
Yeah, totally fine. He was fine a while ago as well, but I guess Crit doesn't have... That was what I was curious about. Does he have anything better to do? Seems not the case.
Arrow inside that sandstorm. Arteezy pops the wand, but it looks like he will go down this time. And QUINCY CREW able to combo their spells pretty well, as JerAx was just out of range to assist his position 1.
Taking advantage, exactly. This feels like the first time in the laning stage that JerAx just wasn't right there. And they get that quick kill, so nicely done. We'll put KheZu basically neck and neck here with Arteezy now in net worth, bottom lane.
And Quinn continuing to right click Abed, and will likely tap the tower a bit to get some DPS. As top lane YawaR. Is he smoked? I think he was smoked there.
Yeah, why was he smoked?
I don't know. Very early one. Was that
Ponlo misclick maybe?
No, I actually think he was smoked in base. Did he do it just for the moose?
Oh wait, he TP'd back to base. Right. Yeah, he smoked to get to lane faster.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why.
Pretty expensive, but sure. Arteezy level 5 now with the treads, and he's sitting on 35-13. You can compare that to the YawaR's 21-6, so definite favor of EG. So laning, I mean, for this game, QUINCY CREW's lineup, we've already talked about it's more conventional. How important is it for them this game to get off to a good start in the laning stage? Well,
it's definitely important for them that Nightfall doesn't get to do this. This is kind of concerning.
He's level 6, very scary stuff. Cricket's a ward here, so they have vision, and that means Abed can jump in with that vortex. YawaR is dead. Ponlo is next. Double kill for Abed, and that is scary stuff if you're a QUINCY CREW fan.
In the meantime, JerAx will soak up the experience. Made us taking some damage here, but he has to solve if he wants to use it. Yeah, I mean, I was questioning how much this top lane was going to accomplish, but the fact that Nightfall's level 6 when YawaR is level 4 speaks volumes to how well this lane worked out for them. Now, I'm not sure how integral the techies was for this outcome. That's what I'm still trying to wrap my head around. Like, was that spam just too much, or is there something else going on here? Just the threat of the blast off lets Nightfall play extra aggressively. Like, whatever it is, it's definitely worked very, very well for EG in that lane. Yeah, YawaR is just so far behind already. Abed will get the top rune. He gets a haste.
Yeah, and this is a game, I mean, we talk about this all the time with this combo between, as Quinn in the enemy jungle, just forcing out Arteezy for now. But the Shadow Demon Luna combo eventually becomes very strong, but you have to be strong on Luna with stat items for that to actually be a thing. It also means Ponlo can get a ton of farms so he can recover from the early deaths that he's accumulating right now. This time, Nightfall gets credit for that. But 1k advantage for EG. It's Quinn. He's going to find a DP, but Sticky Bomb will connect as the blast off is there as well. He's back in human form, and now Nightfall in the area. Nice dodge onto the whirling. No, it doesn't matter. He's dead. There's too much mobility for him to get away. So a big kill for EG and the first for Quinn this game. Playing a much tankier hero, of course.
Well, considering how much they're getting out of these sticky bombs, we can kind of consider Techies a catch so far in the game, actually. Crit just keeps throwing these bombs at these heroes that don't have escape mobility spells, and ultimately you connect, right? Like,
how does that work with
Luna,
the hitboxes of Dragon Knight? Like, it looked like the sticky bomb hit his, like, the end of the tail and it's still connected, right? Is it a bigger model?
It's insignificant for the most part.
Yeah, next time you play against Techies as Dragon Knight, you keep telling yourself that. The hitboxes are quite large as Exorcism popped, tier 1 tower in favor.
Maybe it matters more than I think, like, who knows? But how big are the boxes for some heroes compared to others? I know, like, the collision sizes are pretty similar, right?
I mean, they're all similar, but as KheZu getting found out here, gets the Burrow Strike onto 2, but looks like the Spirit Siphon and Timber Chain are enough. EG, I wouldn't say they're running away with it this time, but it's definitely in their favor.
Did Terrible just say Timber Saw, get the hell off my lane? Or did I mishear that?
That's a nice line.
I'm Googling that right now.
That's an interesting thing to Google. How is that even interesting at all? That's just an old man, no, but, get off my grass reference.
Yeah, but do you not like these, like, small little details in the... Like when heroes interact with each other in game, I think it's like fun. It's small little fun things.
No, I agree. It doesn't require you to alt-tab out of a cast and Google it. As Quinn getting chased, he's in the enemy jungle. They're looking for a high five. Arrow goes in and connects, but I think Quinn is very, very dead. It begs the question, what is he doing there actually? EG. Of course, I would have an analyst to answer that for me, but he is still Googling something that's so insignificant that I can't even be bothered to talk about.
I give up. I'm really bad.
Thanks for joining us.
I didn't find it. Okay.
Well done.
I'm sure one of the observers will fix this, I'm sure. They'll find the quote. They'll write it in the box.
That's a lot of pressure.
I'm sure we got that.
So what you missed was a death on...
I saw Dragon Knight get killed. Well, now I'm going to see JerAx get killed.
Yep, the arrow's there. Lucent Beam, he's still pretty healthy, though. Gets up the Spirit Siphon.
There's no way he just gets away here, right?
Yeah, Spirit Siphoning some creeps. KheZu's here, though, and Dragon Tail. So a kill going the way of Quincy now. So Blink Dagger for KheZu, about 500 away.
That was 5 heroes killing the 5
300
DP.
away, actually.
5 heroes killing the DP. Oh dear. Yeah, well, they did get rid of him in that mid lane, but they're feeling the pressure. They almost seemed a bit hesitant to go on him to begin with, thinking it was a bait. But JerAx was just gathering information and in a position where he was just, you know, killable relatively easily. Took them quite a while though, so don't even know if it was worth it. As in the meantime, Arteezy is just free farming both the triangle as well as top lane, and Timbersaw was already aiming to start pushing mid again.
Yeah, in dragon form, Crit is found out, and the Dragon Tail will connect as a result. And Crit is donezo. Credit goes to Quinn. So they are finding some kill. I mean, we're making it sound like this is worse than it is potentially, but it just feels like EG are making most of the moves this game.
And we were criticizing them for their inability to make moves with these heroes.
Yeah,
they're still the ones finding kills.
Yeah, the lineup doesn't fit that at all, right? It feels like it doesn't, but they're doing a very good job of keeping it whatever tempo they want to go with. As YawaR, I mean, that's the big story right now. You can see the net worth, 3rd in the line for his team, which is never a good sign. But of course, it is a hero that can bounce back.
Look at Nightfall here, just cutting the wave. He feels so confident that they can't kill him here. He has Hood, 1800 health. And he is, of course, playing against a lineup that for now is like 80% magic damage. So he is a very, very tough kill.
Abed's gonna show in the bot lane. Quinn gets in with that blink, Dragon Tail combo, Burrow Strike to follow, but there's the silence from Crit. The blast off, that is a very long one, and this was a bait again. EG get 2. And actually using the TP on Quinn as well.
Yeah, they needed another hero for that kill. If you want to burst the storm there, you need a Mirana arrow.
I mean, they have stun light. They just don't have damage outside of the epi right now.
Like what I'm thinking there is if the techies doesn't show up, I don't even know if Abed dies anyway. I think he actually just jumps back to base, refills, and goes back out. And like, yeah, it's a bit of efficiency loss, but you use 2 heroes on putting pressure at the tower. I don't know if they were hoping to force TPs or whatnot, but Crit was definitely well aware that Abed was a potential victim and just covering him there very nicely. EG just seem a level above today, honestly. It's concerning to me that Quincy would be looking this rough in the laning stage of this game. I think last game it was more understandable for me, but this time around as well, they're just getting outplayed.
Yeah, arrows there, but again, they know that they do not have the damage to deal with Nightfall right now, if ever. I mean, even with items, like later on, it still looks like a difficult kill on paper, right? Like they have a bunch of stuns, but until Luna gets just ridiculous amounts of DPS, I don't know.
And you'd imagine that, okay, so for now, Nightfall is eyeing up what I believe will be a Kaya Sange, but you could definitely imagine Lotus Orb in this game too, right? Like there's just so many good Lotus effects. You can reflect the Sand King stun, the Dragon Knight stun, everything about Shadow Demon. Could be a good item here.
Hey,
JerAx getting eyes on YawaR.
Indeed, pops the Exorcism. MILAN is in the area though. Misdirection there from Ponlo. Gonna try to turn this around, and yeah, JerAx uses the Exorcism and dies shortly after. Nightfall in the meantime comes in despite being a 1v3, does not care.
I think JerAx did not expect that many heroes to be there. Like the idea there, I think, was to start the fight and make Quincy respond, and then Timber comes in, but they were already sitting there as a nice family holding hands like 4 heroes at the Ancient stack, which I can understand JerAx is a bit surprised by because it's not particularly efficient. Oh no.
Oh boy. Yeah, YawaR still silence with that blast off. If that connects, even though they don't have the setup, it's still brutal without having a Manta or something like that to dispel. And KheZu, he's going to be found out here. Gets off the Burrow Strike onto the low ground. Looks like he'll be fine. Ponlo getting chased as well as JerAx has already respawned. But EG just very slowly but surely getting that pillow out, ready to go. Cinder and Abed.
Nice dodge.
It's off the Vortex. Ponlo's here, though. There is the arrow combo. Is this enough damage this time? Indeed. Big kill for QUINCY CREW. And Quinn, will he get out? No. Blast off, still enough damage to take out the Dragon Knight. And Ponlo gets bursted from 100 to 0, essentially, as Nightfall just having himself a game.
Yeah. That was a great dodge from Abed on the Dragon Tail, but didn't dodge the disruption into arrow. That one wasn't possible. So at least for Quincy, they do get that big kill, but again, nothing for free this game. I feel like every time they get kills, it's a trade-off. You see that there, nicely done. There's the Dragon Tail, just very mini zip dodging that, but the follow-up is perfectly set up, can't dodge that, so.
And he actually blinked to avoid the sticky bomb. I'm not sure if that got him killed necessarily, but obviously the positioning was way worse. As KheZu and MILAN on the bot lane. Nobody's really there though, as EG. Arcane Boots on the... Okay.
Nightfall being efficient here.
Yeah, that was...
Dropped them to use Soul Ring and then forgot he had them.
Kyle impersonation there, potentially. So 13 to 6 EG advantage, and at what point do you think they can go for Roche?
Probably now, honestly. It depends if they have information on the map. If they see Quincy being too congregated around the bottom half, you could just go for it with DP plus Terrorblade.
Boom!
There's the shard.
Yep, that is a stun now, and Nightfall. Pure damage rips through these heroes.
Highest damage in the game so far for Crit.
Techies.
We saw, so we were casting, it was this Wednesday, I think we were casting the cut against Wildcard, I think. And they were also, on B-God, they were playing this Techies 4, who I thought had a massive impact, especially in game number 1. Just had huge damage output. And we're seeing Crit being able to perform similarly here. A super high damage support if you get to play freely like this. And there's your Roche. Enjoy.
Yeah. Freebie Roche. I have a question about Techies, but we'll wait just to see if QUINCY CREW tries to contest. Arrow coming in. It's actually going to be dodged here. But they are positioning themselves to actually try to take this.
Actually.
Yeah, GG. You have to be careful, Crit.
Oh, good silence.
Okay, silence onto KheZu. He can't get his burrow strike off as a result. He finally does so, though, as he snatches the Aegis. Nicely done from QUINCY CREW, but Quinn getting dropped very fast. Goes down to Crit. Talking about the highest damage of the game. Not disappointing here. Ponlo has to back up. Looks like YawaR is the one that has to be careful, as Nightfall casually takes him out with a whirling death. So 2 for 1. They snatch the Aegis, does QUINCY CREW. Roshan goes to EG, which I assume, man, at this stage, I mean, does that even matter, getting that gold? As KheZu looks like he's fine. But either way, just denying the Aegis from like, Storm Spirit in general, or even Arteezy to go high ground is huge.
Definitely worth it, right? Like, the thing is, they don't win the follow-up fight despite getting the Aegis, which is concerning, right? Because all they used to get that Aegis was the Sanking Stun. They'd get this disruption.
Oh, okay, he blinked right after he got
that silence from JerAx is just perfect, but KheZu is still quick on the fingers here to just click and steal it and then burrow strike Abed. So from KheZu's perspective, considering he got silence, it couldn't really have gone any better than that, but Quinn is just food.
Right.
DP and Tech, he basically got killed by 2 supports. Like, he just got killed from 100 to 0 by Siphon and a couple of bombs from the techies, and it's an issue that Hero has in this game before he gets BKB, and it's just so far away, right? You've got Tread's dagger. BKB is 3k gold away. Abed just got his, because he doesn't need to buy a dagger. So yeah, it's something for Quincy, but again, a lot to be desired in this game in terms of like their ability to take initiative and being the ones setting the tempo. Finally now.
Blink Dragon Tail with the fireball. Arrows there as well, so this is going to be a kill on the DP. There's a support, but here's a counteract from Crit. Comes in the beautiful stun onto 2 with the follow-up from Abed. That is 2 dead for QUINCY CREW right off the bat. Great defense from EG, and they'll find a 3rd on top.
I'd hack you down again if I could.
Oh, and Abed with the regen. He could actually go for more, but unfortunately for him, Quincy's heroes are in the base. So probably a little bit too far away, but then you can just farm the entire map instead if you want.
Let me ask you a question about techies to follow up what I was talking about before. So is there, I mean, you talked about this game, they don't have a lot of follow-up for Blast Up, which hasn't seemed to matter at all. Like what type of a game is not good for this iteration of techies?
So what I thought was that you want some sort of reliable high strength, slow, or stun to connect blast off, drop your mine, as well as a sticky bomb, and then reset out with reactive taser and just do that again. And I thought this game, they didn't have enough of it, but you know, they've put me to shame. I feel like for the most part, the way they set up their techies is just either JerAx runs in and baits a response and then they use it as a counter engage, or they do it with the Timber Saw slow from Chakram, or just a Vortex. They don't need that much.
A big kill. Arrows after the Thunder gets off there at the last moment. Abed with the BKB. I think he absorbed that.
Yeah,
the arrow.
Jumped into the arrow.
Double kill for Abed, and there's the stun again. We're gonna have to see a replay of that one. That was disgusting.
Yeah, I understand Arteezy tipping Abed for that.
I believe he got the Sunder off, was about to get arrowed. Abed zips in with the BKB and absorbs it.
He would have still died even with the Sunder if he got arrowed there. I'm pretty convinced, but you're going to see it here. So there's the setup. Tanking stun, arrow comes in here.
Yeah.
And there, like you said, he just narrowly gets off the Sunder, but that arrow, if he's standing inside the fireball and epicenter, he's definitely dead there if that arrow strikes. But Abed, clutch.
Wow. I mean, that was not, was that on purpose?
That was definitely on purpose.
Okay, that's impressive.
For sure.
That is pretty This can't be during the game, surely.
Dude, I love Milan. Like, you know what? I can appreciate the hustle. Like, even though you're getting owned, he's farming fans today.
He's creating new memes by the minute.
That's a pretty good look. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it depends how you look at it, right? Some people might also feel like it's disrespectful to the team, right?
No way.
I mean, come on. I think.
Well, no, I agree. Some people would think that, but they're also idiots. I don't care what they think.
Right. Okay, that's fair.
They're dumb-dumbs. Okay, Cinderin. Yeah. No, it's always good to have somebody like that. I mean, it's not always a player. Sometimes it's a coach. You know, could be anybody. Could be your mom walking into the room, giving you a sandwich. Any moral support. You know, it's Quinn. Boom. Yep. Blast off. Boom. And dead.
Dude, I will say one thing based on the limited experience I have with playing and watching these new techies. When it gets the perfect conditions in a move, the damage of this hero is actually just flat out completely insane with just a veil. Like,
oh, he's been overtaken though, Cinder, and he's been overtaken by Nightfall.
narrowly overtaken by the free farming Timber with 909 scoreline.
Yeah,
It's something.
pretty sickening to be sure. Now,
And you know what? I was about to say, all the haters that say EG always pick the same stuff, look at them picking techies, and then I realized they have Terrorblade Storm. But on the support position in this game, they're trying something new and it's working.
Death Prophet techies. Yeah, that's good stuff.
It is working.
Onlo wants to get some illusions of Mr. Arteezy. But of course, Nightfall can clean that up pretty easily. KheZu gets in there with the epicenter. They're going to follow up with the Lucent Beam Eclipse combo, but the BKBs and Sunder, Arteezy and company are just way too strong right now.
Too late on the Dragon Tail. KheZu went in a little bit too early, and when Quinn blinks into Dragon Tail, the BKB on Arteezy is already off, and he Sunders, and essentially you just killed your own Dragon Knight with that go.
Yeah.
And this game, I mean, I'll gladly admit it, I was expecting EG to perhaps just be the better team, right? But I didn't think this game was going to be as stompy as the first one when I saw the draft.
I mean, it's not a Gaben level shellacking, but it is a shellacking.
I mean, I feel like this is as stompy as the first game.
No way.
Yeah.
No.
How long was the first game?
I mean, they could end it earlier and it's still not as stompy in my opinion. It was drawn out like...
It's debatable. I feel like it's basically the same game.
I mean, it is debatable, but that's between the Gaben level shellacking council, which you're not on, by the way, so you don't really get an opinion.
Right.
I'll have to consult Jenkins a little bit later, and we can maybe revise this rating, but we'll see.
Well, if he's the guy you need to consult, I don't want to be a part of the council either. I'll stay off it. Thanks for the invite, though. I'm busy that day.
2 sets of... I didn't tell you what day, Syndra.
Oh, yeah, I'm busy.
2 sets of racks for EG. That's without an Aegis because KheZu stole it earlier. The next Roche, we won't know for another minute and change. But EG looking primed and ready to finish the series off 2-0 in much stompier fashion than we were hoping for / anticipating.
I think quite a few of us were, if we were to put pre-series, like the most likely result, we would have said 2-0 EG.
Yeah.
I think both you and I expected that, but not like this.
No.
Like this has honestly been, you know, it's been a bit of both. Like, first of all, EG look really, really strong and crisp in these 2 games, but I also think Quincy seem a little bit like they're in their own heads a bit. Like, seem a bit hesitant to make moves. The draft in game 1 was a little bit all over the place.
Yeah.
So maybe, you know, a little bit psyched out by the pressure of this game, or perhaps they've just had some bad scrims lately and they're trying to like find themselves and they don't really know what knobs to turn and they're trying some different stuff. But it's obviously always going to be easier to look good against weaker opposition, and EG have been pressuring them super hard both games, like constantly pushing in lanes, having very strong laning stages. And in both games, you know, JerAx got a lot of... Oh, hang on, we're going to wait here. Let's see if this breaks out into anything. It does.
Yep, epicenter, burrow strike. Is this enough to take out Arteezy? This time off the BKB. There's the blast off from Crit. And that is a dead Dragon Knight. KheZu looks to be next.
Abed, God.
Did he do it again?
Yep.
Okay, I missed it that time.
He
I heard you say it, but I didn't see it with my
Just
own
like
eyes.
Britney Spears. Here we go.
All right, that's a kill on Arteezy. And GG is called. They just wanted that before they called GG.
Wow.
And this was a shellacking and a half. I would say it's a monumental shellacking personally, Cinder.
Matt,
I will.
now.